The evening show starts now.
This one is dedicated to all of me I heard you had a rough day yesterday. I heard about the hurtful things they said to you. It made you feel some kind of way.
Hey guys, welcome to the evening show. Yet another episode with you on this beautiful Sunday evening. I trust that all is well with each and every one of you. As always, with me, my beautiful co-host, got the lady Rachel Clark, the lady Marina De Silva. So happy that you guys are with me on a Sunday. Ladies, it's another day, another episode, and Already.
It's as if the days are running ahead, and before you know it, we're back in front of our lights and cameras recording. And it's just like, wait now, we didn't just... Yeah, it's going by quickly.
Before you know it, it's Christmas. But...
No, but as now I'm going to tell you, my husband said, wait now. You know, when school opened, that's it, you're done. That's it. We back to the evening coming up quick on us and dark. so yeah, we back with there.
But it don't matter no more because we ain't leaving the house.
Yeah, we inside. It's not SU again.
The fact that you don't have to go out, you can't be late for work no more, imagine that. If morning rain falling, you just have to show up.
Yes.
Even though I'm saying some people are late for work. Oh! That's Trinidad. Hey, I gotta let you know, ladies, our website is up. TV.com and view. If you miss content, it's there, and then we're gonna have, we're leaving a legacy segment just by themselves. Just in case you want to do that alone, we're gonna have the interviews by themselves. Just in case you want to go back and just that alone, and it's so easy for you. And we're happy. We are happy with that.
Very happy. Thanks to all of our followers that have been viewing. Those of you who have been commenting while the show is going on. It's so nice chatting with you all, even while we're all looking on at the same time. So keep your comments coming in, viewing and sharing. Yes, it's really nice having you all to be able to do this for.
As you have comments, Melina, I want to encourage them to leave questions as well on the
Yes.
Because we're going to have doctors coming in with us every now and then, and we're getting ready for we're going to have a 2-part marriage segment.
Start to get your questions in, start to get them rolling in so that we'll be able to ask, our guests your questions so that you can get your question answered.
Ask some juicy questions, eh?
Don't hold back. And September, ladies, guess what? It's PCOS aware.
Yeah.
So they're making us aware of the reason they have it, the reason you can have it, and how to deal with that. Of course, we spoke on our last episode.
Yeah, so Dr. Clark.
So Dr. Clark addressed that ahead of time, so we're good. Viewing this and you missed our last episode, we're still in the month of September.
Yes.
Go check our last episode, and you will definitely get the information that you need to know how to deal with it. And of course, you can check Lifestyle Medicine Center.
Yes.
Center, anything, honey.
Beauty with Grace.
Salon
and Spa.
Of course, Spring Natural is providing us daily with 350
tea.
Normally, you're having something. Again, you're adventurous and you're having something different too.
Yes, I'm having turmeric tea today. I'm trying to keep my system in order.
I hear you. I'm sticking with my mint. It's soothing and relaxing. I'm sticking with my mint.
You need to venture out.
Venture out, yes, life is short. I agree.
Now, guess what? We have something special for our viewers today. We have some never before seen footage from Great Things Caribbean Network Limited, GT Network. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, all the platforms. Ladies, listen. GT Network, of course, is a platform that celebrates creative minds broadcasting through the Caribbean, the United States, Canada, listen, they're all over, right? Delivering television, series, short films, feature films, reality series, and documentaries. Yeah, I think I got it all. Now, the following footage that you're about to see from GT Network upcoming series, Magnolia, and they start this November. So be sure again check out their platforms to find out where and how you can view it. And it's 100% Trini cat. Yeah.
That's something to celebrate.
Yes.
And the lead actress is Aliyah Rajanath Maharaj, and she is Magnolia herself, right? Now, Magnolia is a teen superhero, and you gotta remember the name, because they're not just doing shows, they have supporting promotional items just for ladies. They have styling custard and lip balm. Yeah, Melina, are you hearing this?
I can.
Right, and also you can get them at Curl Confidence hair care and Glam Box makeup and hair care. So take a look at the footage and we'll be right back. It's the evening show.
Okay, so basically telekinesis is the production of moving object without any physical contact by any means. So basically think about you moving the object with your mind. Now if you have a closed or skeptical mind about this probably might not work out. So think about yourself moving the object and just keep an open mind about it. It should probably work out.
Hey guys, welcome back to the evening show. Today, as promised, we're going to be having the beautiful Golda Lee-Bruce. Yeah. She's going to be on the inside, and she's going to be talking with us on life, on love, on things. Purpose. Listen, she's going to be, we don't want to miss it, alright? So, if you need to go get your drink, do it now, but you don't want to miss the interview with Golda Lee-Bruce. Ladies, I want to talk about something with you. Support system. How important is it for you to have a support system? Somebody to really encourage you when you feel like, phew.
You want that on a scale? Like a scale of 1 to 100? I'm taking it to 110. The necessity of it.
I'm going to agree with you. It's really, really important because, time to time, like, things happen and you need to have that person or that group of people to call on. And for me, that's my sisters and my mom. At any time we have a little group, we send a message. And right. one body out of the rest of them must see the answer, see the question, and be there for you and figure it out.
Hey, blessings to your parents and they always work.
And their siblings.
Of course, waiters. One other person in my group, main person, the man I live with,
hey!
But you get a different type of support from your husband that you get from your female family members.
Yeah. I as well, my support system, but I have, there's a group that I'm a part of. They actually we're in a group chat, and the name of the group chat is The Circle, literally. And I have some friendships, like over 20 years old friendships, and your support system is so important because they're the ones who, there's this quote that goes about, they're the ones that know what's going on with you even when you're silent. Mm-hmm. They are the ones that help, that encourage, that even when you're thinking to yourself, I don't think I could, and no, you could do this because, and they just, particularly, there's a friend of mine, her name is Aline. I'm sure she's looking on. And there's nothing that I could say if I'm going to do a particular thing that she would say, nah, I don't think, nah, it's how we could do this. And even if I tell her, nah, I don't think she would tell me as to why, and this is your track record as to why you could do this, as to why you could handle it. Don't forget. And then, like Rachel said, you have your family support. Like my husband, he is babysitting right now, trying to keep the house as quiet as possible so that this could be possible. And you need to have a support so that you could fulfill your dreams, your purpose, and be able to do it freely without feeling heavy about it. They make it lighter. They make the journey easier. Your support is so important. Sometimes even when you're having like a really down time, to not have to, because sometimes people think they always need to say something, but they come in and even if it's just to be there and to sit with you and not telling you, and not going and try to, like Joe friends, they came and they said nothing for days because they just didn't know what was happening. But I hear to me, your circle, your friendships, they are the family that you get to choose. So my advice is to choose them wisely. And it's not really a big group. It's usually a very small group of people, and sometimes that circle gets smaller based on where you're headed. Sometimes little numbers start to drop off, but to me, your circle is like a pillar.
Right.
Sometimes that that 3-peg stool, your circle is that in your life.
I like that we're talking on this, but for me, it has been. I remember growing up and I had the support, but let me put it like this: I had a silent support system. All right, but I got married into a family. Listen, the support is a lot, right? I love it. I think for me, it has helped me. It has helped me, and I love the way that they go about it. I know it's going to benefit my daughter a lot. Let me be clear with this. I am benefiting from it.
Just in case they're watching.
From it, but it's because it's not what I grew up with.
I know what you mean.
Auntie and uncle, I love you guys, but it's a different type of support. Like, well, we here.
Yeah.
So it took some adjusting on my part. I'm telling them here. You see, this is what we have to come to. Camera, just give me the camera me. I appreciate your support. I may not always say it, but to all my support, those who are members of my support group, I appreciate your support. My uncle, my aunt, my friend Joanne, my sister-in-law, and of course, my biggest supporter is my husband. It's really necessary, and as I said, it's not what I was accustomed with, but I know I want it for my daughter. The realization of that. But guys, this evening show, we got your Leaving a Legacy segment up next. Don't go anywhere.
Just a small video for you guys at the evening show. Shout to Mel and the whole team. Pick up you guys self. Hi, it's your boy Deejay Verstaile, aka Versi. My government name is Zachary Loney, and I am a DJ, radio personality. I am a sound engineer. I'm a production personnel. I am also a producer, one of Trinidad's youngest producers. Challenges that I've faced and how did I overcome? First of all, I have been challenges in school in terms of studying secondary school, and it was really by the grace of God and directed me to partner me with personnel that could assist me to get my subjects and get what I need to get done in a quick possible time. Best advice I've been given is to remain humble. Humility is key in this industry and in life. Keep Christ in the center of everything. Best advice I have given: know what you're about. Always have that kind of assurance in your heart that you know what you're doing, and your focus, have a mind and a focus. Always have integrity. I am Trinidad and Tobago's original youngest gospel DJ. Started on 90.1 at age of 13 years old. Transitioned to W107. Then transitioned to Sky 99.5 FM. Came off radio to focus on studying. And yeah, my support team would be my parents, my grandmother, my two radio brethren, it's Jazzy and DJ Body Rock. Rockstar the ultimate selector. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for the ability to minister and bring salvation through music, through DJing, through radio, as means of the platform that God has used me in to reach souls and win persons for the kingdom of God and represent Christ for 100. Yes, it is important to leave a legacy, because in my case, my parents left a legacy. For me, they have started a legacy. They have grown me up in a certain way, and I believe that the legacy that I create or have been creating already will fall on my kids, and they will reap rewards and benefits. But my legacy is being in the arts, media fraternity, and being a young entrepreneur, and which is that I own my own song company, which I started in Form 3 at the age of 15 years old, and now I am one of the premier Christian song companies in Trinidad and Tobago, providing stage, sound lighting, DJs, MCs, photography, videography, full. So yeah, so it's your boy Verstaile. Do this one for the evening show. We got Melanie Holt him again. Got no thanks for the opportunity. We'll see. Out. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the evening show. We are here with you.
We have a young lady here with us who's no stranger to your hearts, no stranger to your screen. She is a writer, she is a presenter, she is the beautiful Golda Lee-Bruce. Golda, welcome to the evening show.
So happy to be here. Great to be here with you ladies. Thank you so much for the honor.
Thank you for taking time. I know.
Yes.
Busy schedule.
We've been seeing you on Instagram, we've been following you on YouTube, we've been following you everywhere that we can get a piece of you just to see what's happening with your life. And when I say we, I speak on behalf of TNT, alright?
That's a big group.
That's a big group. 1.3 strong, right? Golda, how has things been? Congratulations on mommyhood.
Second time around.
Which one counting, Golda?
Wow. I'm on the spot from Just Boy. You know, I have a politically correct answer, which is that the Lord does what the Lord does. And I have a politically incorrect answer, which is hells to the nah. So you choose which one you're going with. What kind of show is this?
Has your baby started asking for number 2 or a sister?
Who?
Has your baby started asking?
No, she hasn't. She hasn't just yet. She's very much in love with her brother and enamored with him. And she seems to be very satisfied with that situation. So we're very happy about that.
Now, Golda, we have such limited time with you, unfortunately, but we wanna dive into it one time. We've been following you, as I said, and recently I saw a post via Instagram that you said, "Serving your calling, not your ego."
Yes.
Whew, that's big. So much. If you could, from your perspective, if you could just dive into it.
Sure. So the thing is that I've kind of created on social media, I've tried to make my platform, whatever it may be, into something that is motivational and inspirational and really gets to the heart of, what we can do to go after our purpose and our calling, right? And a lot of times when I post, it's because it's something that has really just kind of landed on me, through my own experiences. And I realized that, I battle with my ego quite a bit, I battle with showing up and being successful and being seen as successful. And I battle with offense. Like I take offense a lot. And when my ego is bruised, I kind of withdraw. And, I heard very clearly the day when I posted that my focus should always be on my calling, which is to be faithful and not necessarily successful.
Wow.
That the success comes through being faithful and committed to what God has called you to do. And if that means speaking to a room with 10 people, then that's the call. And it could also mean speaking to a room with 10 million people, but you can't not answer the call because your room isn't full. And so I posted that because I really, really felt it that day. I felt that, I had to just keep trucking along, doing what I'm doing, regardless of whether people are talking about it or not. And it applies to, I think, every single aspect of our lives, right? We want to show up as a good mom. We want people to see us as that. We want people to see our business as successful. We want people to see us well-dressed and makeup and nicely put together all the time. And a lot of that, I think, is driven by ego when the calling is simply to show up and to do what we do as best as we can. So that's where it came from. And I realized it connected with a few people well.
I mean, and that's very big of you there to even admit. And I think that's the first thing, admitting or acknowledging the fact that I have some things I need to work on. And there may be some things within me that can prevent or keep me from moving forward or just serving my calling, as the quote would have stated as well.
Yeah, for sure. And, there was a point in my life when I was driven by perfection, and I took pride in telling people that I was a perfectionist. And that time has long gone, because I realized that, through different experiences, some completely harrowing experiences, that, vulnerability and being able to be imperfect and to keep trying even though you are, is so much more valuable and so much more courageous than we give people credit for. And there are a lot of people around who are struggling to keep up with an ideal of perfection. And the people who uphold that ideal do their brothers and sisters a disservice. Yes. So if you look at me, I am going to tell you, even though things may seem perfect here and there, I don't know if they do, I don't know, I really don't know. But I think I have a responsibility to say, no, I get it wrong sometimes. I get it wrong a lot,
Because I too saw the post and I actually wrote it down. Serve your calling and not your ego. So I just kind of smiled when Melissa brought it up there. And I understand when you say if it's 10 people or 10 million people, you show up nonetheless. I do spa parties, and because of COVID, I would have hosted retreats, and it would have started off before COVID with a particular number. And then as after COVID, the number dropped significantly, and the question would be asked, you're still doing it? And I just thought to myself, of course, the individuals that come in there need to get the information, need to be reached, need to be touched in whatever way. And so, yes. And so I want to ask, because you mentioned about being success. So I wanted to ask, is there a professional failure that would have led you to or launched you into your purpose that you could highlight? Because sometimes we often think, oh my God, I did horrible in this, and this is the worst, but really and truly it was the launching part into something with a bigger, and in the grand scheme of things, in God's plan, this is really the masterpiece here.
Yes.
So could you shed light?
Definitely. I had that experience. And I talk about it quite a bit, actually. About 3 years ago, I applied to do a course at Oxford University. And it was something that I really, really wanted to do, a media policy course. And I can be honest with you now and say I probably just wanted to do it in order to say that I had done it, and in order to say that I had done it at Oxford, right? Either way, I set off to England, and I left Michael and Issa behind. There was no Nalo at that point, because I was only gone for a month, and I thought, I'd go there, wrap this up, put it on my resume, boom, bang, girl boss, blah, blah, blah. So I get there, and I was back home in 4 days because I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I was vomiting constantly. I began to suffer from claustrophobia. And basically, I had a total collapse mentally. And I didn't know why. First of all, I didn't know what it was. It turned out to be anxiety and depression. I was going through a series of anxiety attacks. And it completely confused me because I was doing well in my career. I was seemingly doing well with life, you know. If you ask anyone, you know, around that time who knew me, it may have come as a surprise to them because I was hitting all of the targets and I was checking all of the boxes. But I was getting good grades in the wrong exam. And so I went into that darkness, and it was really, really, really difficult because nothing made sense. If you've ever felt depression, it feels, you cannot describe it to someone. It's not sadness. It's complete and total hopelessness, regardless of what's before you. And I went really, really, really deep, so much so to the point that I felt I had no choice but to not be around anymore. And it was a serious attack. And I was able in that darkness, you know, there's always light in the darkness. There's light in Goshen, right?
Yes.
And I was able to see my life for what it was and to reevaluate it and to sort of recalibrate and see what was important and what wasn't. And that was when God really opened up my eyes and showed me that I had a lot of influence, especially with women and young people. And I was using the influence to style my hair nicely and to report the news every night. And I wasn't using the influence to say, hey, I have felt that darkness that you're feeling right now and you will come out of it. Or to say, that dream that you have, that purpose that you feel burning inside of you, it's worth something. Go after it. Push after it. And I was kind of living in a golden jail. You know, I was doing well, selfishly going about my ambitions and not using my influence to really help people. And that's when I decided that I had to do it, that I had to take the opportunities to speak, and I had to speak candidly, and I had to speak from my heart and really share myself and use whatever influence I had in TNT to tell a different story. And that's what I did with a lot of help. And you guys are going to hear the baby in the background. I hope that's okay.
Yes.
It's just life, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's when I had the courage to do it because, you know, when you come to a cliff and you're looking down at an abyss and you feel a gentle hand tuck on your collar and pull you back, you're kind of like, okay, what you want me to do here? I am listening.
Yeah.
And I was finally able to listen and not, you know, get carried away with the vanity of the Golda Lee-Bruce story, to be able to tell another story.
That's amazing. And, you know, it's funny that you said that you had to, because that was going to be my next question. I actually, like I told you, I was macroing your Instagram. So I saw a letter that you wrote basically to God telling him, listen, Golda Lee.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, why was I following her all the time? I saw it and I was like, oh my goodness. And you were talking about reaching these girls and you was just telling God, like, God, here I am available and I thank you for this opportunity. So I wanted to know, like, when you actually get on that platform, like, where do you speak from? Do you speak from your experience or do you literally tap into God asking God, what is it do you want these ladies to hear?
I am so happy you asked that question because I had almost forgot about that experience. I was actually walking around the savannah when I was going through my thing, you know, and the Lord told me, he said, speak to young women. And I said, how? I don't have what am I supposed to do? Go on CNC3 News and start to preach to young girls? And I said, I don't have any resources. I don't have anything. And he said to me, you have your name. And he said, I gave you a name.
Wow.
And I remember that moment because, you know, I try not to be, I try to have a little bit of humility about me, you know, and not be like, I'm this fancy news anchor, look at me kind of thing. But in that moment, I said, if I go to a corporate entity and I say I would like to do something for girls and young women, they might listen to me. And that's what he meant. It was a kind of currency in Trinidad. And the next week was when First Citizens reached out to me and said, we have girls first. And that's when I wrote the letter.
Wow.
The next week. And then
oh my goodness.
Event after event, opportunity after opportunity, one after the next. And I always sort of try to quiet myself before and say, let me know how to do this.
Yeah.
Let me know what to say. Because I don't ever want to say the wrong thing. I don't ever want to waste that opportunity where I have their eyes and ears locked to do something that is not what I should be doing. So yes, that transformative. It was transformative for me.
I like I told you, I'm a code. So I read everything and I was like, oh my goodness, the level of the platform. And you saying that God literally held you by your collar and gave you that tuck back. Like, what exactly is the motivation behind as you said, not studying about your name or the glamour in terms of just doing your hair and I am Golda Lee, but actually pursuing God, this is your will for my life. And because some people will ask, and I hear it all the time, how do you know that this is your purpose? Or how do you know? So to find some girl looking at Golda Lee right now thinking, oh my God, I was watching on CNC3 and now she's speaking in this way. How do I get on a similar path but with my life, with my own experience? How do I go about finding out?
Each of us has a different story, right? Each of us has a different path that God has put us on. But all of us have a sphere of influence, right? So you are, I always talk about my grandmother because she's my hero. She passed away many years ago, well, about 8 years ago, but she's my hero because, when this lady was 94, 93 years old, there would be young people coming from the church or from our community to just come and talk to her. And they weren't coming to talk to her because, they could take pictures of her and say, this is my old lady friend and put it on Instagram. They were coming and talking to her because they genuinely felt love and attention from her even at 92, 93, 94. And when anyone asks me, or when I hear the term influencer being used, I always think about my grandmother because her influence wasn't fleeting. It was true, real influence, and it was grounded in love. And I think that if we all go out from that place, if you start from a place of genuinely trying to love people, like listen to what they're saying and not use it for your own glory or for your own vanity, but when you get a message, answer it and really genuinely care. When you talk to somebody, look at them in their eyes, listen to what they're saying, empathize with them. Don't try to beat their story of pain with your story of pain. Try from a place of love to really connect with people. I think that once you do that, people will come to you.
Yeah.
And I have seen it. I have seen where, I was afraid when I was leaving the news so that I would just fade away into oblivion, and not have any influence anymore, right? I was like, oh gosh, well, that's the end of that, and it has been quite the opposite.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm making new connections every day. People are feeding into me and I'm also able to feed into them. But here I am talking to you guys 2 years later about all of this. I just met all of you wonderful ladies and we're having this in-depth conversation. I think your purpose and your destiny and your path really begins with connecting with your maker from a place of love. So start loving people today. Start loving them hard wherever you are. If you're working in a bank and you're a teller and someone they're asking for your help, they need your help. Don't dismiss them, love them. even if you have to say no, say it in a way that is caring. Build from that foundation. And if you genuinely want to know where you should be going or what you should be doing with your time on this planet, ask. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. Seek and you shall find. And I went through that, right? I was like, I have this really, decent career in journalism that's building, and what am I doing? And you know what the Lord has showed me that has been really eye-opening for me? I thought that if I did it, I would have to surrender my professional ambitions. And my professional ambitions have succeeded my expectations again and again and again. So I'm doing this with you. I'm talking to you openly in this way. And I'm also going to tonight sit down and do 2 to 3 hours of work for my job. And so I am really grateful to have these kinds of opportunities, to be able to share in this way and to be as open as I can about the goodness of God in my life. It can't be a secret for me.
Really so amazing. And I like how you ended up by saying that, you thought that you would have had to sacrifice, because sometimes people give you the impression that you can't really tie the two in together, work and, if you want to call it ministry, the two can't be gelled or it can't mesh together. And I just think that if you have a platform and work, just use your opportunities whenever they are placed before you. And if you have a greater influence in work, then start there. So, it's amazing that you actually highlighted that as well.
And what I like about what you're saying as well, Golda, is the fact that a lot of us think, if we pretend that all is well, and we show the world that somehow that's going to cause change or transformation. It's actually the openness that what you're doing there is really what causes the transformation, because people can connect with it, people can identify and be like, whoa, this is exactly what I'm going through, or there's someone that will connect. And you wouldn't believe how many who will be able to connect. I have connected with it, right? I'm not going into my story, so it's new today, right? But your mom, and you're setting such a great platform for your daughter now in that aspect. Whereas mommy is not pretending to be something. Mommy is what mommy is, and she is probably that is going to be part of her. Let me not say probably. That is now going to be part of what she knows. It's a culture at home.
I really, really hope so. To be honest with you guys, I was very afraid of ever having a daughter, because I knew that with a son, I would have an immediate connection. A daughter is mini you. A daughter is looking. I see it with her. She's a year old. When I'm in the mirror fixing my hair, I look down and she's there fixing her hair too. Yeah. And she looks a lot like me. And I'm awed by her, and I'm also trying to be the best example that I can for her, because I know that the world is waiting out there to just gobble up young women and their aspirations and their character, And so I pray to God that I am a good example for her. I really, really do, because, I love her to death. I really do. She's my daughter.
I have a quick question. How hard was it to transition in terms of your persona or your image as Golda, the news anchor, to Golda, this transparent person that can be herself? And how did you make that transition happen successfully? I know you said earlier you had a little breakdown, etc., but not that. In terms of what was it?
So for me, I realized early in my media career that I had to that I needed to stop trying to be what I had seen on television all of the years before, and I could actually be my authentic self. Yes. And so I had an advantage, because for the last 10 years, I've cried, and I have sang, and I have laughed, and I'm sitting on the set and I'm like, why am I trying to stifle my laughter? If I'm a human and I laugh, it's okay, Yep. And I had already kind of begun to be you. Yes. And so it didn't really come as a shock to many people. I think I think it was just me, my own fears and my own insecurities. And then you realize everybody normal, they just wanna live their life. They're not staying up at night wondering how is Golda going to be able to nobody's doing that. So I just kind of, it was a natural transition for me because of a measure of authenticity that I had hoped to create. But I also felt like I had my own fears. The fear was with me, not so much with the audience or anything like that. It was my internal things that I was battling,
And there's indeed a freedom when you're yourself. There's such a freedom that comes with it.
Oh, let me tell you.
Yeah, tell us.
Let me tell you, it is. I remember driving. I was in a bus coming from South because we used to, when we first got married, we lived in South with Michael and his parents, right? And I was coming to town in a bus, and I remember, I don't know what was going on, probably a very stressful time. And I remember having a feeling in my spirit, and the feeling was that there's no failure. You cannot fail if you are a believer. You can't fail. You cannot fail. The world may think that you failed. People around you may think that you failed, but you're simply detouring and moving on to things. The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. And so if God is ordering your steps, right, and you're listening to his call and saying, okay, where do I go next? How do I do this next? Even if you stumble, you never really fail. And because you know who's guiding the way, you just continue to walk in that way. And that is the freedom.
I always ask about people and their circles, because I think your circle is so important. Sometimes, yes, kudos to the husbands. I as well am blessed to have a gem. But what is your circle? How do you go about, or how have you picked your circle?
Good one, Gil. Good one. All your own points. So, when you're kind of growing up and you go to high school and wherever you live, you gather your friends there, right? And I came to a point when I realized that I needed to have people around me who knew what I wanted for my life, deep down inside, who knew my desires for my life and who held me to those standards. And it meant that I lost a few friends. And now and then I lose, and it hurts. It hurts because I genuinely, like I say, when I love people, I love you, I love you. And you come into my home and you're just part of the show, you're part of who I am. And my husband is always kind of like, okay, you're real into her, boy. She kind of here every day. But yeah, and then I had to lose a couple of people because I realized that as I was moving more and more in a certain direction, a lot of criticism was coming, and it wasn't constructive criticism, and it would come in ways like, what are you doing again this weekend? What you always talking, you always talking to somebody. I still have a friend who's like, you always talking, and I don't want to hear that. Right now, I want to be around people like, yes, what you talked about. Tell me, let's see how we could refine those ideas. I want people who are serving Golda of the future, not just Golda of the present. I want some people who water in me, and I want to water people as well. But for the most part, I'm talking about what you're doing next. What's your resume looking like? Are you applying for this? Are you applying for that? If you want to open a hair salon, you're up at night on Facebook, or you're looking for sinks on Google. What you doing, And I know that it can be a bit annoying, but you have to get people who are in
yes, I love that.
I surround myself with those people, and my friends, they are good. I have friends who do not go to church, have not read the Bible. Like, they don't read the Bible, they don't go to church. But you see, when I was in my low moment, that same friend walked around the savannah with me, reading the Bible to me. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
So what I'm telling you is that person didn't really, but had no emotional connection to what was there. but they knew that Golda needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And they did that, you know? So that proved to me, and I mean, I prayed for that person right through, right? But it proved to me that that person was able to do something that didn't come naturally to them because they knew that that's what I needed. I needed to hear the spoken word of God again and again and again. And they knew that that was what would bring me from where I was. So your circle, very, very, very important. And I think just genuinely loving people honestly and truly the way that what God intends us to.
And you said something there that I think is really important, because we hear the quotes, be around people who could do this for you and people of this, that type of thing. But we always forget that we also need to be that to the people.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. And it takes a lot of effort too. It's easy to say, but then the doing of it takes effort, you know? So, over the August vacation, I got some requests from Trinidad for, people needing books and things that I would have done easily if I was there, right? And when I get the request, I'm always like, yes, I will, right? But then it requires me to make a list of what those things are, to go on my computer, to see how I am getting those resources out there. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy. And the love is a verb, it's a doing, right? It's not just a feeling, because I want to help, I do. But then I have to do the things that it takes in order to actually help those people, And like I said, none of us are perfect, and I am not perfect, and I make a lot of mistakes, but you have to try, and when you love people, it comes back to you in the most unexpected ways.
Yeah.
So true.
I remember listening to, I think it was Miles Monroe, and he called your circle to ensure that you have people that help you deliver your purpose baby. Deliver that baby. Don't surround yourself with people that abort your purpose. They are abortionists.
Oh, you make my paws raise. When I realized that I had to make some changes, when things would be happening in my life, things that I was happy about, things that I was proud about, and I couldn't tell people. I couldn't tell them because I was afraid that they would trivialize it, or they would become envious.
Right.
And yeah, and those people, that's how I know when I have a friend. And my friends now, the people that I really genuinely surround myself with, who I love and who I think love me, it's a much smaller circle, but I could say to them, hey, this happened, and they will celebrate with me. And that means a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There was
It was amazing.
There was noise. There was everything, but it was such a great conversation. So I just want to say that I really genuinely admire the courage. What you are doing is extremely courageous, and there are people who talk about their plans and people who wish, and then there are people who do. And the blessing comes to the doers. So God bless you as you go out there and do this thing, and continue every weekend to put your faces on, to put your lights on, to lock your children out, and to have these kinds of meaningful conversations. May God bless you, bless you, bless you.
Hey guys, welcome back, and thank you so much for viewing yet another episode. We must say thanks to our special guest today, Golda Lee-Bruce.
Thanks, Golda. We really enjoyed having you. Really, really did. And I'm sure everyone that joined us online enjoyed listening to your wisdom.
Yes.
Guys, we launched our website this past week. Please check it out. www.theeveningshowpt.com. Check it out. Share it with a friend. And don't forget to check us out on social media. Facebook, Instagram, like, follow, subscribe, share.
Yes. Share.
And thanks to Twigs again. Wonderful tea.
And guys, if you are going to the website, please leave your questions. Upcoming, as we mentioned before, we have some couples that are going to talk to us about marriage. So if you have your juicy questions, as we mentioned before, you can leave them there on the website, and we'll ask the guests next time when we are actually hosting them at that time.
That's it. So that's it for us. Anything, honey, Beauty with Grace Salon and Spa, Rachel Tully Clark, another server. Thank you so much. Now, so they're saying bye for now. Peace out, alright? Catch you next week.